you then had to survive the toughest apprenticeship of the lot. Because in those days, I mean, you didn't make your name on a television game show or whatever. You had to go out and do your apprenticeship, which included working men's clubs and, of course, famous music halls like the Glasgow Empire.
Oh.
Now, the Glasgow Empire...
Just had a shudder go through me.
It plays a particular part in your life, doesn't it?
I fainted with fear at Glasgow Empire. No one told me that the national sport at that time of Scotland was go to the Empire on a Friday night and wait for the English comic. And I'd been in show business about half an hour. 4 weeks, to be exact. And I went up there and I didn't know what I was going into. And it was difficult on the Monday, and the Tuesday didn't get any easier, and the Wednesday was awful. And what had happened was I said to one of the stagehands, why doesn't anybody laugh in this town? Nobody laughs. He said, well, the opening act in front of you, it's a husband. The husband had died in an accident that week, and he was a local man prior to coming on. They were a Scottish act. And she is now working with her nephew doing the act. Oh, great. So I would walk out, and it was like walking out to a church service, not to a theatre. And then one night I heard this, will ye no come back again, with the accordion. And suddenly, and I knew something had happened on the stage. And they dragged me from my room, half made up, half hair done, threw me on, and I walked out, and I was about as funny as a road accident, you can imagine. And actually hearing a silence. You can hear a silence. Listen. When it's that quiet, it gets louder. When there's 3,000 people watching you. So I thought, I don't need this. I'm going to faint. It took a lot of courage now, I realised on stupidity. And I went down in a heap on the stage, and I remember the musical director's head, he pulled himself up over the footlights. He said, is this in the act, son? Is this in the act? I said, no, get me off, I fainted. And they dragged me off through the curtains, upstairs. Eric Morecambe, for years, he started some of the stuff. He said that I was the only comic selling advertising space on the soles of his shoes.
Well, how did it start, that famous Eric Morecambe, the series of jokes about you? Did it start at that moment in time, or
not
was it
then?
No,
Michael. That was in the early mid-50s, and then when I sort of about 5 years down the line, I was doing lots of these variety bills we were just talking about, and they were the top of the bill, and I'd go and stand in the wings every night to watch these two, because even then you could tell there was a bit of magic going on.
Yes.
Eric was the crazy one. Ernie was always the rock,
yes,
bringing him back,
yes,
and they were so helpful to me. And then one day, you know, I said to him at the stage door, I said, I want to be an international star. Well, he nearly choked. I said, I'd like to have an affair with Bridget Bardot, Des. So I said, well, I'm going to be a singer. I shall join the Royal Ballet. Because he always had an answer. Yes. No matter what you said, he had an answer. Yes. Anyway, I made some records, and he used to ring me up. He said, I'm having my breakfast, and this is upsetting all the pigeons. Can you stop this nonsense, you know? So, and it was just... And then one day he did it on the show.
Yeah.